Hello, this is Tim Bump, lead designer of the Hyper 9, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the Hyper 9 and the new advancements we have made in the Hyper 9 2.0. The Hyper 9 has fewer parts and fewer screws to keep the weight down and also make it easier to work on. One of the unique features of the Hyper 9 is the tilted engine. This is for two main reasons. The first is to balance the chassis left to right with a half a tank of fuel. The second was to keep the center differential more centered in the chassis, which allows for a straighter drive shaft. Thus, less pin scrub leads to faster acceleration and greater efficiency. Another unique feature of the Hyper 9 is the one-piece rear wing. This reduces the weight at the rear of the buggy, also lowers the center of gravity, and is proven to be very durable. The throttle and brake have an angled bell crank which matches the angle of the engine. This prevents any binding on the slide carburetor. The front and rear brakes are connected with a single wire. This is very reliable and easy to set up. Brake bias is very easy to adjust even with the body on. This has proven to be very useful during long races as track conditions change. The unique fuel tank spring only applies pressure at the center of the fuel cap. This provides a perfect seal for those fast, worry-free pit stops. The Hyper 9 has three Ackerman positions on the front steering arms. This allows you to adjust from mild to wild. This simple, reliable, and durable system allows you to maximize your speed, going in, through the middle, and out of the corners. The hard anodized CNC aluminum front steering knuckle is small, lightweight, and very strong. The unique design has a low front roll center for greater steering. The kingpin axis here is located directly in the center of the tire. This, combined with zero bump steer, allows the buggy to track straighter and accelerate harder through rough sections of a track. One of the enhancements included in the Hyper 9 2.0 kit is a new longer chassis that adds 4 mm behind the engine. This CNC 7075 hard anodized aluminum chassis is milled out to reduce weight and includes a newly designed flex control plate. The 2.0 also includes longer and stronger front lower A-arms. Old traditional A-arms had long fingers to hold the C-hubs. This type of arm had a lot of flex. On the Hyper 9, we reduced that flex by reducing the size of the fingers. The rear arm has a unique V shape to it. This actually allowed us to reduce the fingers to an even smaller size and lowers the center of gravity by lowering the shock location. By looking at the side of the Hyper 9, you will notice a very low profile. When you sum up the one-piece wing, the lowered shock locations, the tilted engine, lay-down servos, the low-profile radio battery box, it all adds up to a very low center of gravity. When compared side by side, you can see that one of our competitors' cars has the same wheelbase as the Hyper 9. But when you compare the chassis lengths, you'll notice that the Hyper 9 is 3/4 of an inch shorter, which means more ground clearance at the nose and tail. The rear corners of the chassis are also cut out. This allows for the stone guards to be angled up for greater ground clearance on the sides. When the chassis hits the ground, you lose traction and speed. The Hyper 9's low center of gravity and high ground clearance means less chassis rub and faster, more consistent lap times. Jumping is also greatly improved with more ground clearance at the nose and the tail. The kit includes Proline's Crowd Pleaser body, V2 wheels, and Crime Fighter tires. With the Hyper 9 2.0, you'll be running faster, more consistent lap times, which will lead to more podium finishes in the main events. I'm Tim Bump. Thank you for watching.